Hello there, my darlings. It's me. I'm back again with another Design Me Devon. I know I've done 3 in a row now, but I just can't fucking stop myself. I'm having so much fun with this series, and it looks like you guys are as well, which means an awful lot to me, because when I'm having fun and you're having fun, there's just this collective funness that just surrounds... Just shut up, Hayden. Just shut... We are going to be cracking on today with another one of your guys' builds. I absolutely love looking through this hashtag. There are so many buildings that I will be renovating. I think this will be the final one of this week. And then we'll crack on with some Let's Build the Worlds tomorrow. And also Thursday, and then I'll get a speed build out for Friday as well. But I'm just having so much fun with the series at the minute. So that is why this is like just taking over as the main kind of like focus for my channel at the minute. I just love it. I absolutely love seeing what you guys have built. And I love having a budget and thinking and getting like an architect head on, even though I'm not an architect. I'm just having so much fun. Really, really having loads of fun. But yeah. I think what we'll do, we'll go and crack on and show you the build that I've chosen for this part. It's gorgeous. I think you guys are going to really like it. And then we'll do what we normally do. Do a little bit of a speed build, clean up the place, renovate it, and I'll show you the video tour at the end. So without further ado, let's flop on over and have a cheeky look. So here we are, my darlings. The next build that is getting renovated is the Bothy by Katie Max 34 on the gallery. So Katie, thank you so much for this build. I absolutely loved it. I've always wanted to build a Bothy. Always wanted to. I've seen them in so many of my kind of like travel vloggers videos and the Scottish videos that I always watch as well. I love hiking, so I see a lot of this kind of like pop up the Bothies. And if anybody's unsure of what a Bothy is, Katie will explain it to you right now. So the Campbells, an elderly couple, came across this Bothy on the west coast of Scotland whilst out hiking and thought it was the perfect project. They decided to bring the help of their many sons and daughters to help build the perfect retiring home. Although in an awful state, they believe their budget of 15,000 simoleons will cover it. I love this, and it just, here we go. A bit of background behind Bothies in Scotland. A Bothy is a basic shelter, usually left unlocked and for anyone to use free of charge. Like lots of hikers use them. They're normally like older buildings. Sometimes they can be shacks, but I've seen like ones that resemble this as well, which I really loved. And I just love the look of this. I think it's stunning. There are about 90 Bothies in Scotland, and they were built for hikers post World War II, when mountaineering became a more popular form of recreation. So there's a little bit of knowledge for you on what a Bothy actually is. Like, I love it. I think this build is so pretty, absolutely gorgeous. And it's the perfect size space on the inside as well to do something with. So we're going to go and have a little cheeky look and take a look at it in game. And here she is, my loves, the Bothy. This is done by Katie, as I was saying. I think she is absolutely gorgeous. So much potential with this build. I cannot wait to give this build a good old bit of renovation. I've got so many ideas flowing in my head. So it is a retirement home. So I don't think I'm going to go upstairs or anything. I want to keep it all on kind of ground level. I just love the like landscaping on this, the details, like all of the wall pieces at the back, and love it. Little well here, a little doggy grave, which is absolutely lovely. And into the like interiors of it. Let's get my walls up first. So this is like, obviously it looks like just loads of like gear that could be full of anything, treasures. The details in this, even like hiding like this behind here, that's just so clever. So clever. I love seeing all of this detail in builds. So yeah, loads of stuff here to like get rid of. And then this is the actual kind of sort of Bothy area itself. So it's very run down. Love what you did with the fireplace here. I think that's so creative. Absolutely love that. We've got 2 camp beds here, obviously for hikers or mountaineers, whatever it is, who come in and just need a bit of shelter for the night. Love what you did. With the beams on the ceiling as well. I love like all of this kind of like dilapidated look. I'm for it. I really am. What I'm thinking is keeping the kitchen, living and dining area kind of open plan, and then doing a bedroom here. I may even extend it out just slightly if we can. We've got a budget of 15,000 simoleons, but I'm going to take everything away from here as well. And then whatever I'm left off with in here, I'll also use that money as well to kind of give this place a nice bit of renovation. But I want to keep the fireplace here and stuff. I may put a few windows in or change some windows. But I think I'm going to keep the front, the majority of this. I love the way that this looks. I'm not going to change anything about the front, really. I may get rid of this doorway because this is going to be the bedroom sort of area. Landscaping, I want to keep the landscaping as rustic as possible. So I'm going to like keep a lot of this landscaping in there. I think you've landscaped this so beautifully that I don't really want to take away too much from it. Maybe getting rid of the landscaping out here and having like a mini sort of decking area out the back could be quite nice. I may do that. But other than that, I love the layout of this. I'm not going to change too much of it at all. I think it's lovely. And I'm going to go for like a darker but lighter aesthetic. I'll still keep the lighter walls, I think, but I'll go darker with the furniture, darker woods and stuff. I'm going to keep this original flagstone flooring as well, just so, I mean, you would. If you like were renovating, you saw this flooring, you would definitely keep it. And I might change the flooring in there to sort of suit that too. And I may shuffle the bathroom around somewhere. I don't know yet. Unsure as of yet. But I just think this build is so glorious. Like, the detail. I'm such a fan of looking at your guys. Oh, is that a poo? Oh, there's a little poo there. Hello, darling. I'm saying hello, darling, to a poo. Well, you know. Got to do it sometimes, haven't you? But yeah, no, I like it. I really, really like it. So I think without further ado, let's get over into the clear up and renovation project and crack on, see what we can come up with. So here we go, my darlings. We are in the clear up process of just getting rid of all the cracks, all the vines, a bit of the landscaping. As I said, I want to keep this build as rustic as possible. So I kept a lot of the landscaping in the places it is as well. So I didn't take away too much from the build. I was deleting that window at the beginning. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I deleting the windows? For goodness sake, I like those little windows at the top. So we keep them there as well. But as I say, at like every part when I've started this, I just love doing this bit. I love doing this bit because I am indeed a Virgo and cleaning is a passion of mine that I'm very, very interested in. But yeah, I just think this house is just so lovely. I could see this house being in the Devon countryside as well, somewhere like a little cottage. Like, I'm for it, really am. Into the interiors. So I cleared up all the cracks. Didn't really change much of the outside. I paint the windows and stuff. I get rid of the windows. Keep few bits of the furniture as well. I end up keeping a bit of the tables, or what that side table there. I keep the oven. I keep the toilet, even though we changed the toilet and used something different. I was just thinking, maybe that would come in handy and then I don't have to buy it again. And yeah, I just love it. I absolutely loved doing this build. So we did go for like it's sort of a modern farmhouse looking vibe on the inside. I did go for a darker aesthetic. A few of the walls that I kind of left an accent of like a darker brick, just pretend that they got the paint off or something. Got some new chimneys as well for the build as well. Painted all the windows up to a nice bright white so it just looked nice and fresh from the outside. And I loved it. Love it. I just love the shape of this build. I think it's because as soon as I look at the build, the shape, it just makes me think of home. And I'm absolutely for that. Really, really am. So, Katie, this build was just je ne sais quoi bleu and all of that business. Now, ignore what I'm doing here. This layout completely changes. I really struggled with a layout for this place. I really, really struggled with, where do I want everything? Is that big enough for everything to be able to go in there? So the bedroom does grow substantially because I do, in fact, end up extending out the build a little bit. We did have enough money as well. You can see we were left with kind of like 26,000 simoleons after deleting a few things and having the 15,000 simoleons that we had anyway for the renovation. Ignore the Moschino windows as well. They change. I think I keep one, and that's on where the master bedroom is, but they were just not suiting this place. But again, I'm going to be kind of just leaving in bits of stuff that change a lot, just so you guys can kind of see my thought process and what was going on with this. And yes, do like it. And then this is me like, I really want to, well, it was me. Bye. I was like figuring out the floor plan on the inside. I end up doing kind of like little walls here and there just to give a feeling of separation. And it really helps, but we'll see that a bit more into the interior. So I think what I wanted to do was crack on with the exterior and just get the exterior looking a little bit more lived in, shall we say. And so I thought, what would they do? They would maybe gravel the path. So I did like a nice gravel path up to where the door is. Love that the fact that the door's on the front center, but on the side, it's quite, I like that. I was going to change it. And I was like, no, do you know what? I actually like that. So we're going to leave it in. In the beginning, I was like, oh, we'll use these stone walls. They'll look lovely. And then I was like, bloody hell, they're expensive. So I end up going into debug and getting the debug ones out that look very, very similar to that one anyway. And they're free. So we'll just pretend that they maybe salvaged stones off the lot itself and built this wall using stuff that was already kind of like around the build. So it didn't really cost them anything. I like all of this thought process. I hope like architects actually do go through this thought process as well, because I would love that. I would get so creative if this was real. I really would. But as I said as well, I kept all of the landscaping, primarily how it looked. A few things changed here and there. I put a few more bushes in and stuff. And on the front of the build, I actually end up putting some ivy and stuff up it as well, just to give it a bit more of a vibe, to be honest. But I think Katie did such a beautiful job with the landscaping. There was not much that I needed to do just to sort of bring a bit of realism into it, apart from chucking a few bushes here and there. But yeah, you can see me playing around with this ivy. I would love more of this ivy. Like, I don't really like the ivy that we've got in the like sort of build catalog. I prefer the live edit stuff, this stuff that goes on corners and stuff. I would just like some different shapes, because we're quite limited, or I'm quite limited on the ones I use. I usually go for these two pieces, a corner piece and that front piece. And I usually stick with it through there. With paying respects to this as well, this lot, or this build was actually put in Brindleton Bay on the 20 by 20 lot. So it was kind of near the coast. And it made a lot of sense, but I've just done a renovation on that lot. So I was like, I'm going to move it into Windenburg, and I put it in Windenburg on, there's two 20 by 20 lots. That one that we were near earlier when I showed you Katie's build, and then this one here. I wish, I was like, oh, actually, I'm going to move this lot into a bit more of a countryside setting, but I wish that I built it on the lot that we were showing Katie's off, because it, I don't know, it would just, it's by water and stuff, and this build came with a few kind of like nautical sort of like objects, because being in Scotland, you're near the coast, and well, not always, but this house would have been near the coast or near a lock. And I wish I kind of felt like came through with that. I really did. Really, really did. But I didn't. I moved it to Windenburg. But I don't know why I'm blathering on about that, but I am. So this little decking bit out the back here, I think retired couple, I wouldn't want them to be doing too much landscaping. I think the front of the build's kind of wild. They let it go a bit wild. They don't really mind that. But the back, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have a nice little tiny patio area with just some spaces for them to grow things. And there's not going to be much to do out here, which if you're retired, that would be heaven, to be honest with you. But I wanted to have them. I wanted them to have some kind of skill building objects. I really did. Now, into the interior. So we're starting on the kitchen. I struggled with the counters. These counters are supposed to match. They don't match. The counters and the islands to that side, no matter what lighting I'm in, they're completely different. Look at the browns. Look at the difference in those browns and the grey. That's so different. And that was the only one that matched in with that. So I have no idea what that was going on. So I ended up going for a darker cabinet or a darker kitchen counter set, and it just looked a bit better, I think. Didn't want to go too modern in here. There was an elderly couple moving in here, so I wanted to keep it kind of farmhouse classic, but still with a little hint of modern here and there. Don't worry about that island, but that changes the orientation of it. And this is me now darkening down the cabinets. Like, I'm like, why are they not matching? That made me fume, that did. I actually keep the island, I go a bit further away, I think. I think I moved the island further back, and I put the table here. The dining table was a really hard orientation to use, just because I wanted to have space behind it for the living area as well. But I think I got there in the end, right at the end. So you'll see that a bit further on. You'll see that a little bit further on into it. But yeah, just loved building this build. Really, really loved building it. Loved the aesthetic in here as well. And the lighting made all the difference. At the minute, I've got those saucer lights in, so everything's really bright. But I end up using a lot of the candelabras with the candles in, and the same with the sauces on the wall. I end up using the candle ones of them as well. And it just works, my love. It just works. And I love it. Oh, I'm very warm in this jumper. This jumper's like really heavy, but it's also got loads of holes in as well. So I hope I don't flash you a nipple or something while I'm on stream, because that would be against TOS, wouldn't it? Yes. Anyway, into the living room. Also, I'll tell you what point I got to. I think I got to the point of finishing this whole area, and I tapped out of my game to go and check something. And then I tapped back into my game and it was frozen, blank white screen. So I actually did have to go back and rebuild this whole living area and kitchen and everything else, which pissed me off greatly because I didn't save. I just need to learn to save. I've got something on my face again. But yeah, I should just learn to save, to be honest with you. But I didn't. And it was quite demoralizing, that actually, because I had to build this twice today. Not that it was bad, because I enjoyed building this, but yeah. But you see what I mean? It's still got like a modern edge to it, but it's still quite rustic and farmhousey looking, or cottagey looking. You could even say cottage. And this is where I start going around and put the kind of like candles on the walls around the place, because it just brings a bit of warmth to this place as well. And I love it. And then this is me extending it out now, like extending the build out, thinking we need to go bigger at the back here, because it's just not working having that the floor plan on the inside, the floor plan with the bathroom, like you had to walk through the only bedroom to get to the bathroom and stuff. I was like, I don't like that. I want there to be a door to the bathroom on the actual outside like kitchen area. This all changes as well. I'm still like faffing around with that bloody floor plan. Now this is me like, right, we need to get this right now. So the bathroom goes there. So you've got an entrance there into the bedroom as well. And then this bedroom's got a nice in-cove where I end up putting a nice wardrobe and stuff. So that space was kind of utilized quite well. And I even extend the bedroom out one further than what I've got now too, just because it was just not working for me. It was just too small. But I've still got 14,000 simoleons left as we're talking, as I'm saying this. Bloody hell, Ron, indeed. I think I end up with 4,000 simoleons as well left over, which is pretty good going, really, considering we started off with a 15,000 budget, and then I deleted everything and got 40 something. I think that was the case. Ignore what I'm doing in the bedroom at the minute as well. I don't end up using this bed. I wanted to use that bed, but the swatches and the duvet covers on them are just disgusting. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go a bit more modern with the bedroom, and I end up using the Snowy Escape furniture set in here, and it really works. It really looks nice. Still wanted to keep the flagstone flooring as well in the bedroom area, but what I end up doing is putting a nice rug down just to soften up the place nicely. And I just think it really, really bloody works, darlings. It really does. But this is me like, oh, what colours can we do? I'm like looking through all the swatches, making sure I've got like all of the furniture pieces in my eye view so I can see if they're working. And I was like, oh, the grey. And I was like, nope. And then I got these bedside tables out and I was like, let's change the bed. So I did. And then I was like, oh, the headboard looks a bit weird. So I was trying to like do something with this, like behind the headboard and stuff. And that didn't work either. And in the end, I just kept the bed as it was and it looked fine. It looked absolutely fine. But I was just like, I want to go a bit rustic with this. Harry's, what was it called again? The cottage pack. No, what was her new pack called? I'm so sorry, Harry. I promise I'm a fan. Sam, I promise I'm a fan. The country collection. Got there in the end. Would have gone perfect in this build, but wanted to keep it custom content free. Just for you guys, you know, you got to do it. You got to do it for everyone. Can't make it too difficult to download and stuff. And I'd rather do it that way, weirdly, because I love custom content. You know that, but I would prefer to keep it custom content free this series. Not to say that I would never do one that's custom content. I'm making one off or a couple here and there. I'll put a bit of custom content in there. That could be quite good, especially if I do like a modern one, which I've got my eye on one. I've got my eye on one of you guys in the community, and I do want to do kind of modern build soon as well. And to the bathroom, the only bathroom, still wanted to keep it classic, so we still keep the flagstone floor and the painted brick. So I got in a bit more of traditional bath, what do you call them? Appliances? No, plumbing, just say plumbing. I got in a bit more of a traditional look with the plumbing and stuff, and I think it just seemed to work nicely. I really did. Really, really like how this lot came out. And it flows so much better after sorting out the floor plan as well. I just think the floor plan is perfect for this sort of size house. I really do. Really do. But yeah, I think I go around at the end as well. Like, I've still got like 9,000 simoleons. I go around now and I just start putting random pieces of decor, shall we say, here and there. I'm just checking the time. You're probably going to see the bar at the bottom now. We've got 1 minute left here, darlings. And I put a nice tapestry behind the bed as well. I thought that looked really nice. I thought that looked really lovely. And I think what we do lastly is do the little kind of cloakroom area. Being a hiking lodge or a bothy, you would have a boot room, really, where you could take your muddy wellies off and, you know, just get rid of all your muddy stuff. And that's what we did here. And I darkened it down and put a bit more of a softer light hue going through it as well. So 30 seconds left. Thank you so much for watching this, my darlings. I'm loving this. Keep the builds coming to the Design Me Devon hashtag. I would love looking at them and renovating them. And I will see you all tomorrow for the next part of Let's Build the Worlds. Goodbye, my darlings.